Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, we're here to ask the question, do you even need a lockdown in NBA 2K21 to play good defense? So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you do, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties. Good stuff. Let's try this vid to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. And pretty much the point of this video is to talk all about playmaking shot creators. So whether it be for defending them or just how crazy their interior defense is on the other hand, we're going to be talking about all that stuff. So I hope y'all enjoy the vid. So for our opponents, we actually played a lineup that I have not played at all this year until this point right here. So obviously the playmaking shot creator, that's a given. Everybody's going to use that when it comes to the stage 3 stuff. And then we got the two-way sharp at the 2 and the glass cleaner at the 3. So this is a rim sharp build right here for those who don't know. And like I said, this is the first outside big I've played all year. And it's so weird going from 2K20 where literally every single person that I played pretty much was an outside big man, now to this year where almost every single person uses the paint beast or, you know, a two-way finisher like myself right here. So for our lineup, we got two playmaking shot creators. Got my boy Kitchen on the left, and we got AK, aka Shots Top 5 in the middle, and then we got me on my two-way finisher, which is the pure red pie chart at 6'7". So to come back to the topic of the video, do you even need a lockdown to play great defense in 2K21? Honestly, my true answer, it depends on who you're playing against, but typically no, because what you're going to be playing against most of the time is a play sharp and then inside big, right? Now, we're playing against the outside big in this game, but it's really the same difference as far as like our switch ability and our comfortability of switching. If anything, the fact that we're playing an outside would make it so I want to play sides even more, but you guys are going to see what's happening here as far as the defense goes. Kitchen has great speed and mobility, and then obviously around 6'5", so the sad truth about it all is that he's not going to get babied in the paint by this rim sharp or even an inside big for that matter, and it's so dumb, and it really needs to be addressed in like any patch as far as interior defense. A lot of people, you know, the thing that we all are complaining about is the shooting, right? Like the whites dropping like crazy, and the other quote-unquote problem in this game is obviously the fact that builds with lower three-point rating can't exactly shoot very well, whether it be 50, 60, even 70, sometimes even 80 really. But I say quote unquote because that really is very opinion based, and in my general opinion I kind of like the way that it works as well. But anyway, my whole point is, as far as how great these play sharps can play defense, the imbalance is ridiculous. Like, I do think these play sharps should be significantly better at shooting and dribbling when it comes to other builds that are less capable as far as their attribute ratings go, because I really do feel like there should, if we're going to have archetypes, there definitely should be an attribute gap. Like, to have 90 3-pointers should definitely be different than having 70. To have 90 ball control should definitely be different than having 70. That's just how I feel, and I feel like they executed on those two things really well in this game. They made it so you do need high ball control to actually dribble well, and you need high 3-pointer to actually shoot well as well. But what they failed to do was make it so you actually need high defense to play good defense in this game. And it's crazy, right? Because we went from last year where it was the polar opposite. And this is where anybody who talks about 2K21 and 2K20 being like the same game, you are completely wrong. Like, I'm sorry, there's a lot of things that are opinion based in this world, but to think that 2K21 and 2K20 are the same game is ridiculous. That's the most like goofy thing I've probably ever heard. So pretty much what I'm talking about with all this stuff of like why I feel that way is because in 2K21, obviously, like I said, shooting ratings actually matter, ball handling ratings actually matter, and driving dunk ratings actually matter too. But the one thing that doesn't matter so much is defensive ratings. I feel like shot contest doesn't really matter that much at all as far as like interior defense, perimeter defense. Lateral quickness is obviously the one thing that's going to be very important, and I will say rebound ratings actually matter as well. But when it comes to steal, block, interior D, perimeter D, I feel like all those attribute ratings are pretty flawed this year, whereas last year you pretty much needed to be a lockdown to play good defense, because anything like a play sharp or anything like that was going to get straight up taken advantage of in the paint by play locks and whatnot. And that is another thing to talk about as well, is the fact that builds like the play lock aren't exactly as dominant this year. So it's not very often that you're going to need anything other than a play sharp to play good defense, because flat out Kitchen has the speed to play good perimeter defense and like fight through picks. I mean, for those who complain about the screens are too OP, just look at this game. I mean, it's so cake for us to just get through these picks, and I'm hedging super high too, so that could be the other problem. I mean, maybe it's just that your big man's not helping out on picks at all. Now right there, that was a nice move, but unfortunately he misses the white right there. We're on the break. Kitchen gets the dunk. It's 2-10 just like that. And like I said, we don't really need anything as far as extra defense when it comes to these builds. And really, AK over here in the corner wasn't really doing much as far as the offense goes. We definitely could have opened up the offense a little bit more and really expanded, you know, and actually used him of his offensive abilities and what he brings to the table with the play sharp. But did we even need it? Not really. Like, Kitchen was coming out here running point and defending ball with a 6'5" play sharp, and was over here doing really well at both things. And obviously I'm running the pick and roll and defending the pick and roll at the big man spot with a pure lock both ways. and it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just as simple as this. You don't need a lockdown on ball in this game. And like I said, pick dodger, I feel like, yes, it's like useful, and I mean, yeah, pick dodger is important, and to have lateral quickness and stuff like that is important as well. But I mean, if you sit here and look at the way we're playing, all that it really demands from our point guard is speed. Like, he's over here forcing him one way. He's not really going to deal with getting hit by many picks. And then even if he does, I'm over here stepping up really well. I'm hedging and full switching, where you're going to see on this possession, I believe, where pretty much Kitchen does finally get bodied by a screen. But just like that, now I'm 6'7", stepping up. And this is where maybe you can talk about, like, yeah, maybe you do need a lockdown in certain situations, because I mean, you're going to see, like in this situation right here, there's not a lot of bigs who are comfortable switching up like that. Or this right here is what we're really here to talk about. I mean, this is ridiculous. Kitchen is 6'5", barely has his interior defense or his block upgraded at all, and it's just tragic that they let this stuff happen. I mean, height should definitely play a big factor in whether or not you're able to finish over somebody when it comes to the standing layups, standing dunks, whatever it may be. This guy is an outside big, I should mention too, though, like I said in the intro, so it is what it is. It's kind of like a fishy, or it's like a touchy subject. But pretty much the point that I've addressed in this video is the fact that builds that are inside oriented aren't really meta in this game anymore, because you can't get away with a low three-pointer. So builds like the play lock, whenever, even if they were in the corner. So let's just say last year there were a couple different things you could do with a play lock on threes. You could beat Super Toxic and run 3 of them, where you have 3 great defenders. You're just going to play bully ball on the weakest defender. If you want to ISO for 3s, you're going to go at the big man. If you want to ISO for 2s, you're just going to hop step, you know, the point guard every single time. But that's just not the case this year. There's no builds that are capable of shooting consistently from the corner while also dominating you in the paint. And that's really just the truth be told. And while all that is true, last year they were still able to be great at defense, so it all worked out perfectly. This year, you have to have good 3-point ratings to actually shoot well. Look at this. I mean, these dudes are getting locked up. But either way, this game's pretty much over. Obviously, anything from this point is not to be taken seriously, because obviously they're not going to be trying their hardest, and we're not really trying our hardest either from this point on. But I still want to finalize my point and talk about what they can do to fix this stuff, because it definitely is a problem. I do feel like, as well as, you know, 3-point rating matters and ball control matters and driving dunk matters in this game, it seems that, you know, interior defense and perimeter defense and all that stuff really doesn't matter. Now right here, this is a nice display of what block does, and, you know, speed and vertical and all that stuff, and having Hall of Fame rim protector, silver chase down. I mean, me as a lockdown, it definitely showed right there. Now don't be wrong, like I said, I'm not trying to discredit my build and say like, oh, a PlaySharp could have done that, because that's not the case. But while the PlaySharps are limited on defense, they're still very capable of being a great perimeter defender, and that is the truth. They really should be, because they're just fast. But should they be able to get through picks very well? I don't think so. I just feel like there's something that should be done as far as making it so PlaySharps actually do struggle on defense, and definitely their interior defense needs to be touched. It's ridiculous how well small builds can play interior defense in this game by just playing hands up. I mean, last year is different. Last year you actually had to use pogo stick. You know, it at least made sense. You're a smaller player, but you're jumping. This year, you're just playing hands up, and it affects these tall people for no reason, when really they could just rise up and dunk over you every single time, or at least rise up and take a layup over your head that's not going to be affected or contested at all in any way of like real life similarities, pretty much. So anyway, that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this is a pretty straight through gameplay, and it was real fast paced, and I love this lineup. I mean, this is the big 3 that I've been waiting for, because last year we couldn't even run lineups like this. It was horrible to run something like this, because if you didn't have a lockdown, you're getting exposed. Like, your defense is going to be awful. You have no switch ability whatsoever. Even if I hedge super high, likelihood of us playing a rim sharp who's going to be just shooting really well from 3, I mean, it's going to be pretty bad. So hedge is completely out the window, and you have to switch everything. And then when you switch one of these play sharps onto the rim sharp, you're going to get dominated down low. And that's really how it should be. But that's just not the case in this game. Interior defense and rebounding from these smaller builds is just like crazy, bro. And I don't know, it definitely needs to be touched. In all non-bias, and how I would love to run this lineup all the time and not have to worry about running a lockdown defender on the court at all times, and just have a fun lineup that's full of offense. Let's be realistic. You definitely should have to have some kind of lockdown to play elite defense in this game. And it shows with mine as well. Don't be wrong. Like, I was definitely out here doing my thing with the hedge defense. And truth be told, this is the last point I'm going to make with this video, is that the hedge defense is definitely one thing that kind of glosses over the whole deficiencies of defense from our play sharps, where I can head super high, still be back for the rebounds, but take away mid-ranges and, like, you know, some 3-pointers as well from their point guard. So I do want to show my build some love as far as what it brings to the table and what I do with it, but at the same time, I do think obviously Kitchen and AK should deal with some sort of defensive deficiency. These builds are straight demigods because of how well they play interior defense, and that's just the truth be told. So anyway, that's off the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on the noties, all that good stuff. Like I said, let's try this one to 1K likes in the first 24 hours. If you made it to the end of the video, put AK in the comments to show your support to made it all the way through. This is the first gameplay I did with my boy this year. Like I said, I really hope that we can have this trio moving forward. Kitchen plays really good defense for his build as well, and even if it's not the interior defense, and if that does get removed and taken away, I still think his perimeter is actually really good as far as getting through screens with his PLAYSHARP. Anyway, that's off the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.